to start? Let's see who wants to start about St George's Day.
Well, you know what, Rafe is excellent manners, so I'm actually going to let you start, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, my gosh, what a civil way to start this, this discussion.
Let's see what happens.
Happy St George's Day, first and foremost. A great chart. Remember Cecil Rhodes' great quotation. He says, "Remember, sir, you are an Englishman and have therefore won first prize in the lottery of life." Unfortunately, today it doesn't seem very much like that's in case.
What's up, YouTube? Today we are covering pretty much a heated debate with a feminist who apparently doesn't know what racism is and apparently also wants to get rid of the British flag. Why? I don't know, but yeah, everybody's watching this knows me, and you know I had to say something about this.
In evidence, because whilst everybody else in our society today is encouraged to celebrate their identity and their heritage and their culture, it seems that there's one exception, and that's England and the English. You know, when the Scots and the Welsh wave their flags proudly, it's called progressive nationalism. Increasingly, when the English do that, they say that it's racist. And I think it's a huge shame because, you know, England really invented the modern world, from the English language to the Industrial Revolution, the mother of parliaments.
I can feel the hairs on the back of her neck prickling.
Well, it shouldn't be, because these are all just factual. This is all factual. The spread of capitalism around the world, you know, even the way we dress, the suit is the universal form of dress. That's an English invention too. So there's so much to celebrate about England. But, you know, and strong, self-confident nations that are the most successful don't constantly navel-gaze and self-flagellate about perceived wrongs from the past. They celebrate their achievements, but England uniquely isn't allowed to do so.
Okay, well, I appreciate the earlier points that you made. I disagree with your latter points. So I actually find it quite ironic that we're talking about St George's Day and we're actually referring to a Turkish man. So let's just be clear. St George's Day, the gentleman that we know, a part of St George's Day, he was actually born in Turkey. Hold on. Apparently, he never actually came to England. And secondly, he is also the patron saint of many different countries, including Bulgaria, Ethiopia, Greece, Serbia, and Palestine. Isn't that ironic? And Portugal. Thank you. Right.
Great.
So I actually find it quite interesting. Right. So I think that you're right. It's an aside, but I just thought it'd be handy to know. In terms of why this is an issue for many people that look like me, this nationalism and patriotism is basically centered around including you and excludes me. And I think what happens in these types of conversations is we conflate...
Why does it include me?
Okay, so let me explain. So we tend to conflate patriotism with nationalism. So patriotism is very much centered around supporting and devotion of your country, right? So I'm patriotic. I care about my country. I was born here. I come and talk about issues that pertain to England. I am patriotic. Support and devotion. Nationalism, on the other hand, according to the Oxford Dictionary, it is support of the interests of your country to the detriment and exclusion of other nations and their interests. So by definition, Rafe, nationalism is exclusionary. It excludes people, and this is what St George's flag.
Let him come in and reply.
Yeah, well, firstly, St George wasn't Turkish. He was a Greek Cappadocian descent Roman Praetorian Guard soldier.
He was born in Cappadocia, which is Turkey, modern-day Turkey.
But he was Greek, he wasn't Turkish.
But he was still born in Turkey,
but he was not Turkish. That's a modern construct. You can't use modern...
Okay, this one clearly doesn't know what racism or exclusionary even is. Because, yeah, it's very common for countries to want to prioritize themselves over other countries' needs. That's been a thing since the dawn of the very first civilization. It has nothing to do with racism or exclusion. Like, the definition of racism is judging people by skin color. It has nothing to do with other countries and how they interact with one another. Yeah, this one clearly does not know what racism even is. She clearly does not.
But, you know, why call it nationalism? We're talking about patriotism here. It's interesting.
They're interchangeable.
It's interesting that the Scottish Nationalist Party and the Welsh Nationalists have managed to make their form of patriotism progressive nationalism, and for some reason the same isn't allowed here. When we know, no, thank you. When we know full well that England is one of the world's 3 least racist nations, behind only Brazil and Sweden. And yet, of course, the narrative that we get is that this is a land of systemic racism and colonialism and slavery and all the rest of it. The evidence simply doesn't stack up.
No, that's
there is no country which has got...
a lie.
No, I'm sorry, this is not a lie
fact.
at all. We have the most diverse parliament in Europe. We have the most diverse government. We have much better race relations than anywhere else.
Let's get back to the subject.
The subject
We're going off on many tangents.
No, do you mind? Would you please let me finish my point?
Go ahead,
The point is that we have a harmonious society here in England. So nationalism and patriotism here isn't exclusive. My point here, which you've conveniently forgotten, is that this is an inclusive society. And I think it's about time that we celebrate it.
That's what patriotism
Winston
is
Churchill
about.
once said, "There is a forgotten, nay, almost forbidden word, which means more to me than any
May I
other."
interject now?
That word is England, and we need to reclaim for England all of those great things that we've woven up into the British national fabric.
Thank you, Kay. I think we should bring it back to the flag. So just to kind of bring a bit more context into this conversation. For me personally, when we think about the Union Jack, firstly, the Union Jack was... Union flag. Sorry, Union Jack.
We're discussing England, not the Union Jack.
Hold on, we're talking about two different flags and we're talking about St. George's Day.
We're
talking about St. George's Day.
Yeah, Union flag is that. When it's on the end of the back of a boat, that's a Union Jack.
Sorry. So, Union flag. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me, Kay. When you think about the Union flag, I think that is more centred around civic nationalism, which is defined as liberal kind of conservative views, equality, right? So we ended the slave trade. These are the things that a lot of people can kind of get behind, especially because that flag was represented in the 50 colonies that Britain colonised in Africa. So we can get behind that flag. But what happens with the St. George's flag, again, it actually has been, as you know, it's been circulated throughout many conversations over the last week or two or few days, is that the St. George's flag is very much, or has been, hijacked by far right, and therefore, hold on a second, and therefore is connected and leads to xenophobia and racism.
I'd love to see where this mythical far right
hold
is.
On a second,
I can't find them anywhere.
Therein lies the distinction between the two flags.
It's a flag. It has nothing to do with racism. It's literally a country's flag. That's literally it. It's part of their history, part of their heritage. But let's break down a few things here. This feminist wants to take down another nation's flag. Yeah. She wants to take it down. Not because of anything that those people did, but because of what they are and what their ancestors might have done. Well, actually did do. Tell me, everybody who's watching this, what chapter of world history is this feminist who is claiming to be anti-racist giving her full support to? I'll give you all a hint. It starts with the letter H. Yes, the letter H.
I would say we go for the Union flag because that one is far more inclusive, far more people can see themselves in it, that representation that we keep hearing, as opposed to the St. George's flag, which has been hijacked. And it's a Turkish man. He would be an immigrant in these days.
In 1966, there was a sea of Union flags in the World Cup. Now at every England match, there's a sea of St. George's flags.
So you're saying Ukraine
the Royal Navy flag at the back there, the white ensign, is the flag of England. You go to any country church in this country, in the Cotswolds, in the Lake District, you'll see the flag of St. George flying serenely above parish churches. The flag has been absolutely reclaimed, and there's no huge far-right element in this country. This is a great another myth of the left. And the right haven't hijacked... One second, please. The right haven't hijacked nationalism. The left have vacated the field. You know, in the old days, people like Tony Benn, Clement Attlee were hugely proud of the left's contributions to England and were proud of being English. People like Billy Bragg on the left.
So are Labour.
And so are patriot. No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
One second, let me finish. What's happened now is the left hate the nation states, nationalism and borders.
Sweeping statements.
Because they are internationalists. They're not nationalists, whereas the right have always celebrated that. So it's up to the left to reclaim their proud history. You know, the Levellers, the Diggers, the Chartists. There's so much that the left can celebrate if they wanted
please.
to.
We're almost
Thank you. Let's just say about reclaim, I will just bring it back to the N-word. We have all seen many, many black people from here across the world, in the US, try to reclaim the N-word, and it doesn't negate the fact that the N-word will forever be associated as a racial slur and derogatory towards black people. So you try as you might sir. Try as you might in regards to reclaiming the St. George's flag. It doesn't negate the fact that other people will feel
England
and
gave
will
you
always
a great
associate it with
lifestyle.
racism
You
and
are benefiting.
xenophobia.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the N word because yeah, I never use that. But why is that relevant exactly? Like why? And I haven't heard anyone say that for a long time. Like I have really never heard anyone say that at all. Also, this woman keeps saying that she's being disadvantaged by the British flag somehow. How? Like, what's stopping this woman from doing whatever it is that she wants to do? That's not 100% biologically related. Like, how? Like, where's the logic? Like, you keep saying you want to keep fighting, and keep complaining, but answer me this. For the feminist movement, what is the end goal here? What is the logical and achievable end goal here? What else do men have to do, and apparently Britain, for example, have to do until you're satisfied? Like, when do the complaints stop? Like, when? Are we talking the idea of holding people, of punishing a group of people indefinitely? Once again, not because of anything that they did, but because of what they are, what their ancestors did. This I'm asking this. What chapter of world history is this feminist completely and fully embracing right now? What chapter? Once again, I'll give all of you a hint. It starts with the letter H.